Fairy tales, folklore, and terrifying. That is, in a nutshell, Bramble the Mountain King. This charming action-adventure will see you exploring a Scandinavian story-inspired world and experiencing everything from hedgehogs to abject horror. So, let's jump in. By the way, hello folks, my name's Scott. I realize I'm paying a lot of money for Xbox Game Pass and not even playing any of the games, so I'm going to play as many as I possibly can whilst aiming to get 100% of the achievements and documenting the journey right here. So make sure to like, comment which game you want to see next, and subscribe so you don't miss any. Alright, here we go. We wake up to find that our sister Lillemore has gone missing. Now, I'm an only child, and so never had to share a bedroom with anyone until I started travelling and sleeping in hostels, and so it's understandable that people have different experiences than being kept awake by an 18-year-old German lad who's smoking weed and furiously masturbating under the covers in a 10-bed dorm, because our protagonist Ole actually wants to find his lost roommate. So, out the window we go to track her down. Barefoot through the twilight forest, lightly treading over the dewy moss, the first chance of a very early achievement appears. Goal! With the goal being to kick an apple through a tiny stick goal. That is basically impossible to see. Okay. How are you supposed to know that is there? Sure thing. Let's keep on going. 1 out of 30 done. On to the rest. Into the treehouse, and notice how we pick up this figurine? That's the criteria to unlock what would have been our second achievement, but nothing's popped up. Remember this, as it'll be important later. Unlocking the door, we continue into the forest, get our first taste of the spooks in store. Oh, what was that? Flying overhead. I hope it's a friend. Fall into a drainpipe and pick up this orb of light to illuminate our way and serve as our only means of offense and defense in this crazy world. As we climb out of the other end of the pipe, it's worth noting how wonderfully good looking this game is. Oh, what a beautiful moonlit night. And that's one of the biggest charms of this title. As you'll see, there is so much to experience and so many different unique places to explore, and each are beautifully detailed and animated. It's truly a treat for the eyes. Making our way to the top of the tower, and who's that in the distance? Why, it's our sister Lillemore. The reunion is sweet, the feeling is joyous, and I'm sure this will last for the rest of the title. And what better way to celebrate siblings being brought back together than a spirited game of catch? Here you go, trick shot. Yes! Out of the sky. 3 point. Back of the net. Hole in one. But of course, the fun always has to end. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes. That was a close call. Oh dear, it's all gone Pete song. After going through a Tomb Raider Survivor Series slide, sans shotgun, we land in a world of giant toadstools, sturdy enough to support our weight as we jump over them 5 times and unlock our next achievement, Bouncy. Yes! That's another one down. Thanking you very much. Where did she go? Sorry, I just had to go and get some gamer points right there. Sister, oh sister, please do wait up. Teetering on a twig over a stream and nearly getting crushed by a massive manzana, we follow a gnome to his village, and what a joy! On a bench is a drowsy gnome, next to which is a gnome figurine, and picking it up grants us our third achievement, aptly named Gnome Figurine. But I didn't really have time to celebrate that. There were more pressing matters at hand. Oh my god, they have a hedgehog as a pet. Are you kidding me? Look at... No, I want to play with a hedgehog. Get me... I don't care. I don't care about the game. Look at this. Oh, it curls up when you go near it. Oh my god, it curls... Oh my, I could cry. Are you freaking kidding? Why can't I pet the hedgehog? No, I just want the rest of the game to be me interacting with this hedgehog. It's so cute. Look at that hedgehog. Are you serious? Okay, onwards. Elated with the arena today, we leave the village and head down to the pond side for some lily pad hopping. Oh, what a pretty game. A pretty little idyllic game. Before meeting the Frog King himself. Ew, bruv. Buy a dinner first. After bearing witness to that amphibian's assault, Ole really needs to do some self-reflection, staring off into the depths of a well to really connect with himself, and half the day is gone. Well. What a predicament. With our sister and Sunlight no longer here, we follow a tiny fairy across some rickety bridges and encounter our first death. Not usually notable in the game, but there is an achievement to which only 0.09% of Xbox players have unlocked for completing the game without dying. So, now that is no longer viable in this run, looks like we'll have to come back to try again. But it's all good. Eventually cleared the chasms and reunited with our sis. What is that in the background? What is that? No. Oh, goodness, it's horrific. What the heck? It's huge. Run, little Ollie, run for your little life. Doing our best Richard Kimball impression, we jump into the water below, wash up in a dream sequence, then get spat out by our becrowned friend who saved us from drowning. Thanks, you moist-skinned monarch. Walking off the slime, we get a casual introduction to some new creatures of increased height. Oh, Trolley McTrollface. Did a little over-the-shoulder look right there, did a little look behind him, something got my attention. Navigating our way through the troll patch, and after a little parkour, we attempt to rescue a gnome in a trap to fall into into a trap ourselves. Isn't it ironic? But where does this rotting deer carcass lead to? Well, only to the den of the butcher. This is definitely not up to the required health and safety standards. After wading through literal guts,
oh my goodness, it's blood up to his face. He's got blood, look at that, he's got blood all the way up to his hairline. He is saturated in viscera.
it was time to take on the thing responsible for all this mess, and for staining a perfectly lovely outfit with all that nasty blood. Remember folks, to get rid of blood, you want to wash it with cold water, not warm, because the heat causes the proteins to stick, making them more stubborn to remove. And it's the same as eggs. That's why you always get little bits of crusted on egg in between the prongs of your fork. And you try and get a tea towel to floss it out, but it just gets all gunked up, and the only thing left to do is chip away at it with your fingernails, but then you got soggy, crusty egg under your nails. And do you ever just eat an egg and halfway through think, what the f*** am I eating? What is an egg? Like, the actual idea of an egg is utterly bizarre. This little self-contained liquid meal that could have been an animal. And we're up here cracking it and mixing it with cheese and mushrooms. Cadbury's cream eggs, though. Yeah, they're some eggs that I can get behind. They used to be seasonal, just for Easter, but then they did some for Halloween. Made them green. Kind of lost their appeal. Anyway, butcher defeated, achievement grabbed, let's move on. After escaping the den, we come across some gnomes in need of liberation, and here's the chance to get another possible achievement. We have to rescue all 8 adorable gnomes and lead them safely through the garden to reach their house, making sure each one of them gets back safe and sound. There are only 8 of them, easy to manage, and they are utterly adorable, so I will give my all to protecting them.
Oh! Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, gnomes. Gnomes, I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
The emotional damage from this left me reeling. I'll come back to get this achievement another time. I just want to see those who did survive find some comfort in their house. There you go, my little friends. Put your feet up, take a break. You deserve it. Oh, what's this? A visitor? Oh, and they've been completely squashed. Entirely wiped out. They were better off in the bear traps. Now, to avoid the lantern's light, lest we get snatched up, making our way to escaping literally under the troll's nose, and then through the wall and a chance for a breather.
You know, if it wasn't for the smashed gnomes, for the animal guts we walked through, for the fact that there's a creature out here that will just squash our head in its palm, this would be a lovely little journey. Imagine going through all of this. The lovely scent of the forest floor, that damp moss. You know, it's a lovely earthen smell. Oh no!
Here, we can get our 5th achievement. The lone remaining witness to the pinecone death, perhaps rooted to the spot out of shock of what it had witnessed, needs to be kicked out. So, chipping the furry football into the viscera below, we unlock the appropriately named Evicted.
Get in! That's an achievement for me! Oh, what a death! I'm so sorry, Pinecone. I needed those gamer points. He's just drowning in the slurry.
Jumping across the blood puddle and avoiding the unseen menace, there was another unlock to occur.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, no. Oh, no, I'm such a bad person. Okay. Oh, that was bad. I don't feel like a good person for that.
Once that bloody mess was behind us, it's a little climb up some shelves to unlock the troll figurine achievement after grabbing said troll figurine and then climbing down a skinned and salted deer carcass to eventually be almost made into soup. Luckily, we escape our confines and find ourselves in a clearing where poor little giant Lamus is being bullied by the previously turfed out pine cones. Taking their opportunity to enact revenge for killing their leader and kicking them out of the house, they begin a spear assault on me, but the handy pile of rocks eventually do them in. And finally, to unlock something even more precious than an achievement, a new friendship. Thank you for the helping hand, new friend Lamus. We managed to find our light rock again, having lost it earlier, I can't recall when. And oh, what's this? Another friend to give us a cuddle?
Oh my god, run out of the way! Oh, he's been caught.
Thankfully, sunlight was to the rescue, and with a good old whack of vitamin D, the troll is rock hard and we can walk away. And surely there should be some highs after all the lows we've been through.
Shut the front door. Are you for real? Oh my god, there's a hedgehog here. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I could cry. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. This was not about riding hedgehogs. I get to control the hedgehog. I get to control the hedgehog. Game of the year. Game of the year. Are you absolutely taking... Oh my god. game of the year.
Stopping off on the joyride of a lifetime to pick up this Nacken figurine to get the associated achievement, it was time to say bye-bye to Bristle Boy.
Bye, buddy. I will always remember you.
And onwards to the task at hand. Finding our sister. Our old mate Lamus was around again, and as much as I already associate with the balding, lonely, ugly troll, it's the fact that he also has severe hay fever that makes me question whether I can sue for my likeness obviously being stolen. After the hands up he gives us, we get to be a ferryman for a little dwarf, and on the way pick up a sculpture of our new mate to unlock our 9th achievement, that being Lamus figurine. Once we've reunited our passenger with its parent, our body starts to convulse, because, as Gloria Estefan once correctly predicted, the rhythm is gonna get you. Being Pied Piper to the edge of a drop, we swirl our way around like a quid in one of those plastic dome charity collectors you used to find in supermarkets and end up in the dank underground. Luckily, we made some light work of the darkness and found the exit, and as we're about to undertake some familiar lily pad hopping, it's worth noting we have some live background musical accompaniment. We'll just let them do their thing and get on with the joy of traversing the pads.
What? What in the ring is this? Oh my gosh. Run, run, run. Jump. Get there. Oh no, it turned. Oh, did you see that snapback?
And this is why you should pay your artists. Look what happens when you don't. Now, as we avoid the literal beatdown of the beat, dodging from cover to cover, let me tell you who this delightful character is. This is Nacken, a talented fiddler who was unfortunately not appreciated in his time. His village would bully and beat him because of his musical prowess. They must have all been related to that Reverend from Footloose. There was one, however, that did not hurt Nacken, and this girl our fiddler fell in love with. One day, though, the beatings got so bad that Nacken snapped. He played forbidden melodies that made everyone dance uncontrollably until their flesh literally ground away from their limbs. Their now eviscerated bodies lying on the floor, still twitching to the melody that he produced. All were affected, including his love, and upon finding her dead, Nacken drowned himself in the nearby lake, but lives on, luring those who hear to their untimely ends with his wicked tunes. After all the avoiding, it's all plain sailing until we decide to cosplay as Erin's mother.
Oh, brother. Oh, that was horrific.
But trying again, we avoid him this time, don't avoid the pitfall, manage to escape, and onwards to freedom. But guess who's back for an encore? We avoid his grasp, plunge into the rapids, deftly dodging the rocks, and then it's just the waterfall.
Oh my god, it caught us! Oh my gosh, that was disgusting.
Poor little Lule. He's gone through a hell of a lot for what, a 10-year-old? But with Nacken's back broken, that's our 10th achievement in the bag. 1/3 of the way there. Our lad is proper knackered, and we hobble onwards to meet a friendly face. A well-deserved rest later, and we're gifted with an upgrade to our Lightstone. A powerful blast that can push back the darkness and do some damage if you're looking directly at it whilst not wearing those eclipse glasses. After we head off with our new toy, can we take a moment again to appreciate the beauty of nature?
Oh, there's a moose. Oh god, it's standing on its back legs. I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't know moose could stand on their back legs like a person. Get the heck out of there.
Out of sight of the Skinwalker, we test our upgrade. And it works! This will make light work of those thorny tentacles. After clearing our way through the overgrowth, we see in the distance the eponymous mountain for which we're aiming for. But first, in between it and us, is this abandoned town that looks like a set piece from Day of the Triffids. Managing to avoid the main flower's gaze and ever-sprawling reach, we sprint across rooftops and leap into the cold, rocky hands of warm-hearted Softy Lamus. Thanks, Lamus. After our stony cuddle and asking for 5 more minutes in this embrace, we wave goodbye to our friend and hello to a fresh new horror, that being on the water. And welcoming us at the beginning of this chapter is a crucified midwife with a sheep skull on her head. Delightful. Punting our way across, we walk across many planks, shuffle through the throngs of raves, and head into this abandoned boathouse. Perfectly normal behavior for a young boy out on his own, right? Who is looking after this child? Where are his legal guardians? I couldn't even open the front door without permission at this age, let alone bound barefoot across waterlogged wooden boards and enter strangers' houses. Give this kid some hot chocolate and let him sleep. Under the second elevated boathouse, we find the Karhaxen figurine, unlocking the achievement for its collection, and enter the upstairs to a lit fireplace shelter. Taking a look around, we find a little toy ducky, which is so cute! The only way to move forward being mixing a brew consisting of ingredients that, when combined, form the shape of the curse. Hodgepodging some stuff off a shelf together and wearing no breathing apparatus or face coverings whilst mixing volatile compounds over an open source of heat, we manage to break the seal and get our witchcraft achievement to celebrate our amateur alchemy. Throughout the game, there have been little storybooks littered about. Reading them all will gain an achievement. Some are optional, some, however, are necessary for the story to proceed. This is one such. To summarize the contents of this tome really quickly, a woman is going to sacrifice a baby so that she can get a load of power from the devil. Amazon bestseller, huh? Once we turn the last page, and make sure not to recommend this book to any of our friends, we find a hidden crank that gets us into the next room, where we spy a woman acting all shifty-like. The exit is locked, and the only way out is to stack some massive volumes atop one another in order to get out of the open window. And honestly, not a moment too soon. All of those open flames, with those books, and the entirety of the cabin made of wood, you're just asking for trouble, ain't you? Our escape scene through and down to the docks. Let's ferry our way out of here. But oh wait, there's the scarecrow again. Knocking her off her cross, she definitely becomes cross as everything suddenly gets very dramatic.
Oh my gosh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this. Ooh, nice sky though. Keep focused. Oh, it's the baby. It's the crib. It's Moses. Keeps on popping up amongst the rushes. Come on. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. On the noggin.
After a couple of direct hits to the face with our lightstone, she's gone, off to haunt another pond or deep bath, whatever she wants to do, and leaves us with another achievement, Karhaxen, to celebrate her defeat. Eventually making our way across the lake, we follow on the trail of the mysterious woman and baby, avoid the underwater horrors that are waiting for us and are waiting for us in every single body of water that's a little dark. Yes, thalassophobia is real and justified. We evolved that fear for a reason. And once we squeeze our way through our wraith mosh pit, we come across a grim and sad sight. There, silhouetted against the bright moon, is the hanging body of the witch, her neck in a noose, crows already landing for their feed, and just beyond is a ring of light, in the middle of which lies the body of the baby. We were too late to save it. There's nothing we can do except give it a proper burial. We dig out a little grave, lay it to rest, and place the toy ducky we picked up along the way so that it has something to play with in the afterlife, and unlock an achievement for doing so. What a dark and depressing moment to play through an experience. Anyway, here's a funny looking old man with a lamp. This is Lichtgubber, and he has a lush library, and I want to visit it because can you imagine what that place would smell like with all those old books? Another storybook is laid out to fill us in on the lore of this world. King Nils was expecting an heir with his much adored wife. She bore a son, Ulrich, but she unfortunately died in childbirth. With so much lost, his son became the only thing that gave the king any light in his dark life. But when the baby boy turned gravely ill, King Nils did everything to try and save him, including hunting down a mythical flower that was said to have healing properties. But this search eventually became a full-out war with many dead along the way, including all the witches who couldn't or wouldn't help the king. Do you remember at the beginning, when we thought this would just be a lovely little game about fairytale folk and being able to ride woodland creatures? Well, no. Here's some widower with a dying son and a load of dead witches. Merry f***ing Christmas. And now it's time to face one of the witches the tale spoke of. Leaving the library, we'll be back, Lichtgubber, we chase the apparition of our sister to find ourselves in a clearing.
What fresh hell is this? It looks like the girl from Splice cosplaying for D&D.
The battle ensues, having to dodge her plethora of attacks whilst finding openings to destroy the seals cast about the arena which offer her protection. She is known as the Skogskra, a shapeshifter who would take the form of an attractive, enchanting woman whose beauty would lure men into the forest. Some would lose their minds, many would never return. An actual witch hunt began, leading to the deaths of every young, dark-haired girl, but the seductions didn't stop. The townsfolk turned on one another, eventually slaughtering all the women, even those who didn't resemble the description, in the hope of rooting her out. They burnt down much of the forest to try to drive her away, but it still didn't stop. One night, on a full moon, 5 men entered the wood with the goal of ending her once and for all. They found her in a clearing and instantly became besotted with her, and with them under her spell, she ripped open their chests, hung them from the trees, and drew strange symbols with their still beating hearts. And I thought my Tinder dates were bad. The floating seals we have to destroy are the remains of these men, and after dispatching of them and literally stabbing her in the back, she pulls out the big guns.
Oh, she's using Star Wars on us. She's using orbital beams. She's using the Euclid Seafinder. Oh no.
But there's no amount of magic that can protect her, and eventually she is struck down. And what follows is possibly one of the most ridiculous examples of overkill that I have ever been part of. For to unlock the achievement Murderer, we have to stab her in the face 100 times.
Look how every stab, there's less soul in Olya's eyes. I am so sorry to have put this child through this horrific ordeal. I'm the one doing it. Like, yes, he just wanted to get rid of her. I'm the one who's making him stab her in the face 100 times, put him in years of therapy, just so I can get a few more gamer points. Just so I can complete My achievement collection. Oh my gosh. This feels like it's going on forever. Are you serious? What did the developers think? That somebody would just do this 100 times and just uncover it naturally? Be like, oh snap, how about that? I got myself an achievement for stabbing this woman in the face 100 times in a row.
And after 4 minutes of continuously shanking this poor lass in the eyeball...
Oh, and I got the achievement. Only 1.61% of players have got it. And I'm carrying on. I'm still doing it. I can't stop. I better stop. Just let it run out, buddy. Oh my god. Oh, and one last one. And we got one straight after as well. Oh, wow.
2 achievements gained. But we'll never be the same again. Sheepishly walking away. Look how shameful Ule looks for what we made him do. Fully traumatized. We make our way into the remains of the aforementioned village, stumbling through what appears to be one of the final scenes from The Mist, and then into a church where we find a carved idol to unlock the Skog's Riot figurine achievement, showing that we can never truly escape the horrors of our past. Prizing this dead woman's cold rigid fingers off the crank.
That was not pleasant. That was not pleasant. I was not a fan of that.
We collect the key, get out of there, and come across something you may not have expected to see. Zombies! That's right, Zack Snyder paced human eaters who will hone in on you for a taste of what's equivalent to Homo sapien veal. Having to keep crouched and learn their limitations, it's imperative to stick to the high grass, keep quiet, and be thankful you didn't take that barbecue sauce bath earlier. It all goes well until you have to literally use yourself as bait.
Jump off, I say. Run and jump! Oh. Ooh, that was a stress.
Escaping the rabid townsfolk, we stumble into a breather with some potion mixing, and then onwards over and through various houses, where we learn along the way that a mysterious plague appeared in town, consuming those that are healthy, then raising the dead, who in turn consume the living. The funny small creatures in big red hats seem a lifetime ago now. Adding to the joys when we have to go through a pitch black house, but it's all good since we have the light stone, right? Wrong. The zombies are attracted to the light and will make a beeline for you. So, just shuffling about to avoid the shufflers, this kid is gonna need so much therapy.
Oh, I didn't breathe through all of that.
Back into the light, we make our way into a church, a brief respite of sanctuary, as we collect tomes again to give us a boost up to get out of here. We're just ignoring all the dead bodies on the holy ground, are we? Yeah, alrighty then. Then just a simple little walk through the graveyard to progress with the journey. Hang on, what was it I said before? Then raising the dead, who in turn consume the living. Ah, yes. And where do the dead live? Oh, right.
Oh no, they're trying to break through. Oh no, I don't know what to do. Oh no, they've broken through. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh no, there's a mass of them. Oh no, I'm jumping over. Ooh. Luckily they can't climb knee-high fortifications, but they can break through them. Oh my goodness. Keep on running. Jump over. Oh my god, they're on the way. And the bridge collapsed. Oh, sweet potatoes and gravy.
With the bridge falling away behind us, like in the Temple of Doom, or a better example that I can't think of off the top of my head, leave some suggestions down below, it was time to take a little breather by gaining some altitude. And on the way to the top, round and round, we find the Pester figurine, unlocking our 18th achievement. But the question is, who is Pester? Guess we're yet to find out. Reaching the top of the tower and timing it with a total solar eclipse wasn't on my bingo card, nor was the kaleidoscopic acid trip that followed straight after. But back into the land of relative safety, we navigate through the pulsing night to hop on board a rowing boat and row ourselves to shore. Plain sailing, yes?
He's done so well, hasn't he, though? I mean, he's what, like 10? Look how much he's gone through. I mean, crikey. I had to speak to someone in the shop the other day to ask him where something was. Oh, someone's appeared behind me. And I stumbled over my words, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to haunt me forever. But this kid, he's on a rowboat. He's got someone behind him, grabbing him. He's been chased down by zombies. He's had trolls grabbing him, flung over by zombified Pied Pipers. It's all been going a bit bizarre, and yet he's doing so well. He deserves a lot of credit.
What follows is a haunting, trippy battle within the mind of Ule, fighting against the Ingmar Bergman as Pester, who's trying to corrupt our mind, the dodging of rats, the destruction of faces, the avoiding of rakes. It's all pretty high stakes, until this part.
Oh, that was unexpected. That was extremely unexpected. Yum, 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 yum. Aww. Yum, 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 yum.
After managing to avoid being this cloaked figure's afternoon snack, we escape its cold grasp, let it scurry off into the night to look for more munchies, and gain an achievement for our troubles. We're finally at the banks of the Mountain King. Time to ascend to get our sister. The luscious fields turn into a monochromatic nightmare with the Schindler's List cinematography-inspired aesthetic as we find ourselves returning yet again to the tower. The brambles surround us, and clearing them away with our lightstone blasts, it's a moment to reflect on the horrors we've experienced thus far.
God, so much has happened in this game. Why is he regretting? Well, I mean, I'd say why is he regretting that, but he did stab her in the face 100 times.
And clearing the last of the flowers away, our 20th achievement in the bag. 2/3 done, we're nearing the end. The tower's doorway led to a great hall which contained a secret entrance to our favourite librarian's hangout spot. Told you I'd be back, Lichtgruber. And since parting is such sweet sorrow, we pick up a figurine to remember him by, earning another achievement along the way, and then follow up immediately after with the Bookworm achievement for having read through all of the tales. As we wave goodbye to our bedraggled Tome Protector and make our way out of here, I'll fill you in on what that final storybook said. Still in the pursuit of the healing flower for his son, King Nils eventually found a witch living in the woods who gave him a sample, with instructions that it's extremely powerful and has a propensity for things to turn bad upon usage. Using but a single petal, the king saved his son from illness and he made a full recovery. Huzzah! But the townsfolk were pissed that he waged such a bloody war, and so the next day they stabbed his son dead. Celebrated too soon. Woo! The king, obviously pre-miffed at this, used the rest of the flower to go absolutely ham on everyone around him, fully breaking bad in the process. The witch, coming by to check in on how her products are doing, saw that it had all gone Pete Tong. So, to prevent any negative Etsy reviews coming her way, she threw a whole mountain on top of the castle to keep the newly evil king contained and stop the spread of the bramble's growth. These European fairy tales sure are a delight, aren't they? Emerging from the secret entrance to poor Prince Ulrich's bedroom, we can check the bookcase to find a figurine of King Nils himself, unlocking us an achievement named in his honor. Having a look around, taking a moment to pay our respects, we then put on the murdered prince's clothes because, of course, why not break into someone's house and wear the clothes of a dead stranger? Of all the craziness that's happened thus far, that is the most bizarre thing. Escaping the crime scene, we head into another grand corridor.
I doubt anything bad will happen here. I think I'm just going to turn up to the king and be like, hey, buddy, listen, I just want my sister back. And he'll be like, do you know what, mate? Have her back. I've landed on some... Oh, gosh. Landed on his stomach. He's fine, though. Look, he's fine. Where are all the explosions?
In the heart of the forge, we do our best to avoid the shockwaves of creation, hiding behind hammers and rolling gears until we find ourselves at the doors to the king. Intended to be locked forever, we use our master key of blasting the fuck out of the brambles, open it up like the miniature Viggo Mortensen badass we are, and proceed inside for the final showdown. It's all come down to this. The eponymous Mountain King is here waiting for us, and he has our sister. So let's climb up and around the back of him to gain an audience with this giant of a man. I'm sure us breaking in and being dressed in his dead kid's clothes will be fine. Hey up. That burlap sack is moving. What's inside? Oh, it's Lillemore. Our search is over. And now she's been swallowed like in Season 1, Episode 5 of AOT. But, as I'm sure we know, if they don't chew, it's not necessarily the end. The final battle is underway. The brambles that have infected the mind of the king now serve as the means to his freedom. With him trying to make a meal out of us with his knifing and forking, it's a forking nightmare to keep on avoiding them and trying to blast the brambles away. Unamused that his amuse-bouche won't sit still, he smashes up his dinner table and really ramps up the attack. With his scepter in one hand and his mighty sword in the other, he really is flexing that he is king. Like, okay, we get it, you're rich. Well done. Avoiding the clubbing and dodging the sword swipes, we take any chance we get to blast our lightstone at the horrid flowers, and as they become less, so does Nils' patience. He ramps up the offensive, smashing out shockwaves that could pulverize us in one hit, but dodging, ducking, dipping, diving, and dodging our way out of harm's way, we keep up the luminous blasts until eventually...
so close. I was concentrating so much. Yes! Last bramble.
Briefly free from the plant's evil tendrils, the king gazes upon us to see what he thinks is his little boy and takes action to do the right thing. Guess it was a good idea to wear his clothes after all, eh? With an almighty thrust, he stabs the heart of the flower, destroying evil's bane once and for all. Now, that's all good and well, glad he got a good conclusion to his story, good for him. But lest we forget our sister is currently marinating in some pretty volatile stomach acid right now. Climbing up the sword and leaping to his beard, I'm not entirely sure sure what our plan is, but as we're trying to figure it out, we can join another achievement. This one for dethroning the Mountain King himself. As he ascends and dons his crown, an eternity of sitting down has made his legs get a jelly, and he face plants. Not before we throw a Hail Mary with our Lightstone, and then blackout. From the stillness. What's this movement? Why, it's Lillemore, pulling a Hercules in the Hydra and cutting her away from the inside out. Covered in this morning's breakfast, she helps us to our feet, and as the castle crashes down around us, a staggered piggyback is all that can be mustered.
Come on, you can go a little bit quicker. I mean, well, she has been tied up in a sack and in some horrible stomach acids of a giant, but like, come on. Oh, yes! Lemmus. Oh, Lemmus, I love you, Lemmus. Lemmus would always look after his friend. That'd be the lesson, folks. Be kind to bizarre stone troll creatures, and they will be kind to you. I think that's a lesson we can all take with us in our day-to-day lives.
Saved once again by our stony friend, this time it's Lillemore waking up in the bed, and it is she whom we can control, as this time Ule has gone missing. Looking for clues around the room, we replay the opening moments of the game and head to the window, just to find our little bro was there all along. And so was our reward for completing the game, our 25th achievement in the first run-through. Now, that was our first complete run-through of the game, but we still have 5 achievements to get to finish the collection, so time to do some mopping up. Luckily, we can jump into specific chapters as we wish to make a beeline to unlock, which is very good and handy as there are 2 figurines we've seemingly missed. Heading back to the treehouse at the beginning of the game, remember at the top of the video when I said how I picked up Lillemore's figurine? It should have been an achievement but wasn't? Well, we go back to pick it up again here, and still no unlocking. The action is clearly seen, the criteria was fulfilled, yet nothing has been registered. No point dwelling on it, let's go hunt for another missing collectible. Near where we slept on Tuva and got spotted by the Skinwalker, we can head in the opposite direction to the Brambles to find a hidden grove.
Okay, so hopefully hidden up here, there is a little statuette of Tuva. And now I've picked up my Tuva statuette, and there is the achievement. Thank you very much. Found the Tuva wooden figurine. Thank you. And we've got all of them. Yes! Found all the wooden figurines.
You can see the problem, right? How could we have got an achievement to say we've collected all the figurines and yet have an outstanding achievement for having seemingly not collected one of the figurines? Obviously, we're in glitchy territory at the moment, and though I reset the game and my console to try to get it to activate, nothing was happening. So I decided to move on to mop up the rest. The final 2 to unlock are Savior and Survivor, the latter being completing the game without dying, the former being saving our diminutive gnome friends from death. Making our way back to their liberation from the minecart, we just have to make sure to guide all 8 of them through the bear trap minefield. The problem is, it's kind of like herding cats. The gnomes seemingly have no spatial awareness, or are just very much welcoming what awaits them as they saunter into the cold, jagged bite of death. Oh, God. Damn it! And when they're not flaunting their suicidal tendencies, they're just completely static, not following the crowd, and so we're having to double back to get a hold of them to join in with the group. It can get very tedious, and after many attempts...
Oh! He just jumped into it. He didn't want to go back home.
Eventually, they make it through. The achievement is ours, and quite honestly, I was glad when they got stomped on by the troll. Wasting my time like that. Now, the very final achievement. To complete the entire game without dying once. Only 0.09% of players on Xbox have achieved this, one of the rarest achievements I've ever come across in my gaming career. The problem doesn't necessarily lie in the battle system. Dying against bosses, that's a skill issue, and practice and learning patterns will help with that. But the controls are somewhat finicky at times, and jumping across certain areas, not even meant to be a hazard, can result in an easy death, meaning you'd have to start all over again. Rather than pulling out what little hair I have left to do a permadeath run, I instead implemented the offline cloud save method because, hey, I don't like cheating in games, but come on, I want this achievement and I want to finish this video. And so I worked through it again. I didn't record it all this time, but after around 5 more hours, I made it again to the final showdown with the Mountain King. We duked it out, all good, brought down, yada yada, woke up as Lillemore.
Okay, time to see if this actually worked. Oh, please. Please let this have worked. I've put so many hours into this. Please let this have worked. All of the figurines. We've got all of the figurines. Now let's go to the window. Oh, please, fingers crossed. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What went wrong? Oh, for goodness sake.
Nope, I had completed it again, and it didn't unlock. Oh, by the way, the Lillimore figurine achievement eventually did register. Nothing popped up, but it's officially in the bag. So that means there is truly only one left. And so I had to start all over again. Another 5 hours later, and getting to the final battle for the third time, now somewhat on autopilot, we tackle the king again, avoid his clubbing, and blast his back growths.
Get in. Get in. Oh my gosh. Oh, fingers crossed, please let this work.
And once again, swapping out to our sibling.
It's the moment of truth. Come on. Please say it's worked. Please say it's registered. I've spent so long trying to get to this point. Please say it's worked.
However,
Yes!
yes!
Oh my god, yes! I can't believe it.
Finally, we unlock the Survivor achievement and become one of the 0.09% of those to obtain it on Xbox and complete this collection of achievements. So there we go, folks. That was Bramble the Mountain King. Now let's take a look at some post-game stats. 30 out of 30 achievements achieved, 1,000 gamer points added to my total, had to complete the game 3 times in order to get every last one of them, with a complete playing time of 19 hours and 27 minutes. And now at the end of the video, just some of my thoughts on the game as a whole. It's a really beautiful game, and I love how it's constructed like the fairy tales that it draws inspirations from. You're waking up and you find that your sister is missing, you go on this epic adventure and meet this colourful cast of characters to eventually be reunited and happily ever after. And I love how it draws so much from Scandinavian stories, because I always love playing a game or any type of media where you get to learn a little bit along the way, get to learn a little bit about the world, about different cultures, and there's something about Scandinavian and Nordic mythologies and folklore and fairy tales that's very dark. Yes, mythologies across the world have darkness in them, Egyptian, Greek, Mesopotamian, Native American, but there's something about Scandinavian and Nordic stories that are just very much lacking in light. They often deal with a lot more darker themes. Maybe the stories don't have as many happy endings. And that's what I thought about this game. I thought just going in that it was going to be a lovely fairy tale romp and then there'd be a couple of elements here and there, but no. It touches on some very mature themes, some very dark and depressing themes. When you're having to drop the baby into the burial, like, it got a lot darker than I thought it would, and that is beautiful. It was unexpected, and it was a welcome unexpected surprise. And the way they achieved that is because of how beautifully crafted the world is. Every part of it is meticulously detailed so that you go through and it is fully like you are experiencing this world. And that's because it's a linear game. There's not much exploration. If it was more open world, then you'd be losing a lot of the charm. But because you're on a predetermined path, that means every step can be made in such great detail that it really creates this world. And along the way, there are a few little gameplay mechanics where you're either having to do a little bit of platforming or utilize some combat, but there's not actually much to do in the game. I've played it through 3 times for this video. Replayability, once you've played it through, you're probably not going to want to come back to it. You're probably not going to want to revisit it and play it again, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not every game has to be 120 hours long and still playing it a year later. Sometimes you just want a little slice of a great interactive experience with a wonderfully engaging narrative and just a joy to experience, and that's exactly what Bramble is. It is a wonderful little slice of storytelling that'll take you to places that you weren't expecting to go, that you wouldn't think you would end up there, but you are happy to have gone along on the journey and you are happy to have experienced it. So there we are. And that's that, folks. Me getting every single achievement on a Game Pass game. That's one game done, like 490 more to go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if you like this. Feel free to comment your thoughts on Bramble and comment which game I should play next. And also, what you think of this video, because this is the first time I've done a video like this. I'd love any feedback, what you think was good, what you think should be improved, what should be kept, what should be added. Let me know. I'm open to all suggestions. And make sure to subscribe and stick around for more, because I'll carry on making videos. And that's the end of the video. I'm going to go back to playing some games. Luck and more to you all, and catch you next time.